close of the 19th century. An unassuming spot with an auspicious name, Topolobampo, with a climate milder than anywhere else. Plains as fertile as the Garden of Eden. And in the mountains, untold riches. The perfect place to make a utopia come true. A life of freedom and equality for all. You have just bought a patch of land from the Mexican government. Here, your vision is supposed to become a reality. A free and fair society. Together with a few like-minded people, you are going to build the city of the future in Topolobampo. It shouldn't be all that difficult, since you've already built several railway lines, successfully. Welcome to the City of Dreams. You set out to come here in order to establish a society where no one has to suffer hardship. Everything will belong to everyone and be available in abundance. Large numbers of men and women want to join you, with permission to build their dwellings precisely according to their ideas. Start off by obtaining the necessary material. Excellent raw materials can be found in the surrounding area. All you need to do is get them into town. The project is growing and thriving. Thanks to the high-quality materials, the buildings that have gone up look downright stately. The first settlers have moved in, and everyone is working busily to make the perfect society a reality. But a fulfilled life includes more than just work. Physical well-being, fun, and amusement are just as important. Make sure that the municipal facilities of Topolobampo are furnished with the necessary consumables. The men and women of the colony are strong and healthy. But in spite of that, if an emergency were to arise, it must be ensured that the surgical instruments at the hospital are guaranteed germ-free. Medical-grade alcohol can be manufactured for this purpose from the large numbers of cactuses on hand. The city of the future will lure plenty of guests who want to marvel at this model of success with their own eyes. That's why the hotel should be fitted with only the finest furnishings, with stylish eating utensils, for example. A real streetcar, the kind they have in all the glamorous cities, would suit Topolobampo to a T. It would give the members of the community a chance to take a load off their feet. The streetcar is a good thing, but on no account should what the draft horses leave behind be allowed to end up in front of the town's prestigious buildings. The streetcar is amazing, except that it doesn't stop where people want to go. Thanks to advanced technology, the line could run in the centre of town without horse manure lying around everywhere. Thanks to the miracle of electricity, now the streetcar can service all the important places. As if that weren't enough, with a pleasant fragrance too.
Turn your darkness into light. If you just believed in what we've got, then you would feel this paradise. This paradise. Paradise. This paradise.
fundamental needs of the community are provided for. Even more is being produced than the colony needs for itself. To enable prosperity to multiply, the surpluses produced so diligently and with lots of enthusiasm ought to be exported. Earnings from the export trade would be helpful during this crucial phase because several investments to the benefit of one and all still lie ahead. Decide which commodity you want to export overseas for the benefit of society. Silver spoons from the legendary silver mines in the Sierra Madre are going to be a major export hit. There are simply too many bachelors hanging around on the streets of Topolobampo. It's enormously detrimental to productivity. That's why you should see to it that their rambunctious ways are tamed. And what better way than the responsible task of starting a family? When people get married, they have children. Then they become law-abiding and straight-laced. You ought to help out a bit on the subject of romance, so that it won't be long before wedding bells are ringing. Fantastic. The export business is on target. Only very few prefer looking for quarrels and being idle. It's no loss when they leave town. But maybe precaution should be taken that others don't do the same. More exports mean more prosperity too. And as a result, more satisfaction for the whole colony so that nobody else will want to move away. The increase in exporting silver spoons requires more silver. And all that requires is to dig deeper. The tunnel can be stabilized with logs, a tried and true method from the Wild West. Instead of using all the alcohol solely for medical purposes, special guests could be served a small glass of it too. As they say in Mexico, liquor doesn't hit the spot unless there's a worm in it. Set off to find the tangy critters that spend their days underground. The tasty worms can't be found just anywhere. A Mexican market vendor, Senora, thinks there might be a good chance of nabbing some halfway between the forest and the sawmill, if you hurry. Our informer is certain they were still here a moment ago, but the worms seem to have disappeared just as fast. Give it another try on the riverbank near town. Nothing doing. Again. They must truly be the speediest worms in all of Mexico. Maybe you'll have more luck at the seaside by one of the many bays. Ay, 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 you've finally caught them, the speediest worms in Mexico. Love was short-lived. The brand-new parents are constantly getting in each other's hair, and there's no end to the children's hollering and crying. In comparison, those bachelors hanging around were actually pretty harmless. The people prospected too greedily, it's too deep. Who knows what they aroused in the darkness? In any case, the shaft caved in. Oh my. Oh my. Despite all your efforts, Topolobampo goes under in a sorry state. Maybe the human race simply isn't ready yet for a life in paradise. So that ideally no one will ever be reminded of this sad episode in the history of mankind, it seems like a good idea to erase any traces of this experiment. It's the only way to enable future generations to start all over again. The remaining stocks of the manufactured goods shouldn't go to waste. The Mexican population is grateful for those kinds of handouts, and you don't end up with nothing to show for it. See to it that no one notices you are ever here. It's the only way to enable more advanced generations to venture a completely new start in the future. Oh, well. Goodbye, you paradise by the Pacific. Never to be seen again. You did your best. But the time wasn't ripe for your path-breaking ideas. What a pity. May the children of the future encounter more fertile conditions for establishing the free and fair community of the future.